Cruise lines will never say this out loud, but talk to enough seasoned cruisers and you'll start to hear whispers. There's a whole shadow world on board filled with unspoken rules, secret perks, and clever tricks that most passengers never notice. Some of them are just simple hacks to smooth out your trip, but others, they'll completely change the way you cruise forever. Like why you should never trust those flashy onboard art auctions, or how to quietly score a cabin upgrade after you've already boarded. This isn't your usual cruise tips video. These are the insider secrets veteran cruisers swap in hushed tones, while cruise lines cross their fingers you never find out. So stay with me till the end, because Trick 16, it solves one of the weirdest mysteries on any cruise ship. Why your cabin sometimes smells really strange, even when you haven't done anything. Let's get into it. You've probably seen them, the elegant art auctions at sea. Free champagne, a host with a mic, hyping up every piece like it's a once-in-a-lifetime investment. And sure, some guests walk away happy. But here's the part most passengers never realize. These auctions are almost always run by third-party companies, not the ship's operator. And when things go sideways, the company usually steps back with a polite, "That's not us." One guest we spoke to spent $3,800 on a limited edition print. Back home, a local gallery appraised it at less than $500. She tried to get a refund, but the auction house pointed to the fine print. The cruise provider, completely uninvolved. To be fair, not every piece is a scam. Art is subjective, but the free drinks, the countdown clock, the talk of value and exclusivity, that's the real performance. If something genuinely speaks to you, snap a photo. Write down the artist. Wait until you're off the ship and do a little research. If you still want it, great. But if not, congrats. You just dodged one of the flashiest traps at sea. It sounds impossible, right? With all the tech we have these days, you'd think a ship this size would have sensors to detect if someone goes overboard. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many vessels still don't. If someone falls, whether they slip, jump, or get pulled over, there's often no automatic alert. Unless a witness reports it, hours can go by before anyone even realizes someone's missing. By that point, the ship could be miles away. Some operators say the tech isn't reliable yet. Others cite high installation costs. But safety experts? They've been calling it unacceptable for years. There have been real cases, families left with no answers, no timeline, and no sense of closure. If you're cruising with kids, older parents, or someone who tends to wander, keep an extra eye out, especially at night or in quiet corners of the deck. Because even on a ship this polished, there are blind spots, and this one can be deadly. Here's a fun little secret. Just because it's not on the menu doesn't mean you can't get it. Cruise ship kitchens, especially in the main dining room, can be surprisingly flexible. Craving mashed potatoes even if they're not listed tonight? Want a plain grilled chicken or just a bowl of rice? Ask nicely, and if they've got the ingredients, they'll often make it happen. Some longtime cruisers even have secret favorites they swear by, like a cheese plate after dessert, or a cruise-style curry if there's an Indian chef on board. Will it work every time? Maybe not, especially when the ship's packed and the kitchen's slammed. But here's the golden combo. Ask early in the meal, keep it simple, and be polite. You're not demanding, you're requesting, and every now and then, you'll get something even better than what's printed on the page. There's something about shopping on board that feels safe. The smiling staff, the crisp uniforms, the elegant displays. You're on the ship. After all, it must be trustworthy, right? Not always. Most of those glitzy jewelry stores aren't actually run by the ship itself. They're operated by outside retail companies with their own policies, pricing, and fine print. So if something goes wrong, like a broken clasp, a gem that doesn't check out, or buyer's remorse, you might find yourself stuck in a game of responsibility hot potato. One passenger bought a diamond ring during a one-day sale on board. Back home, it turned out to be worth much less than she paid. When she reached out for help, the cruise provider said, "We don't manage that store." The retailer, located overseas, with slow replies and strict return rules. This isn't about fake jewelry. it's about misplaced trust. So if a piece really catches your eye, take a photo, get the specs, and compare prices on land, where returns are easier and warranties make sense. Because once you step off the ship, that sparkly souvenir might come with a whole lot of buyer's regret. You might think you're in full control of your cruise spending, but the ship? It's playing chess, and most of us are just playing checkers. From the layout of the shops to the scent of cookies by the cafe, everything's designed to keep you browsing, lingering, and spending just a bit more. That calming lavender wafting near the spa? Intentional. The slow jazz in the jewelry store? Also intentional. Even some crew members, like bartenders or spa staff, get sales training to help you discover that perfect cocktail upgrade or skincare set. And hey, some of those suggestions are genuinely helpful. This isn't a scam. It's hospitality meets psychology, but it does mean you'll want to pause before saying yes to every limited time offer. The cruise isn't tricking you, it's just really good at retail therapy, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's a secret many first-time cruisers miss. In the main dining room, you're not limited to just one appetizer, one entree, or one dessert. One night, I ordered 2 mains, fully expecting a surprise charge. Instead, the waiter just smiled and said, "Coming right up." That's cruise dining magic. Want both the steak and the salmon? Go for it. Cheesecake and chocolate lava cake? Totally allowed. Just one note, this only applies to the main dining room and included restaurants. Specialty dining spots, the ones with cover charges, may have different rules, so it never hurts to ask. Also, don't waste food. The crew works hard, and a little courtesy goes a long way. But if you've got a big appetite and a polite smile, you're not just allowed, you're encouraged. Here's a move most cruise rookies never make, but seasoned travelers live for it. Let's say you've already booked your cabin. A few days later, you check the website and the price has dropped. Most people just shrug and move on. But if you act quickly, especially before final payment, you can call the cruise company or your travel agent and possibly score a better deal. That might mean a price adjustment, a free upgrade, or onboard credit you didn't expect. One traveler I met was bumped up to a balcony suite just for noticing a $200 drop and making one quick phone call. The catch? You have to spot it yourself. No alerts, no emails, no friendly reminder from the system saying, "Hey, we owe you money." Use a price tracking tool or just check the site manually every few days. Worst case, they say no. Best case, you win the upgrade game without paying a dime more. Just make sure to check your booking conditions. Some adjustments only apply if you book direct. They expect you to forget. Smart cruisers don't. Most passengers never see it, but on many large or luxury ships, there's a hidden perk reserved for suite guests and top-tier loyalty members: private access to crew-only passageways. These aren't spooky back hallways. They're strategic shortcuts, unmarked staircases, quiet corridors, even behind-the-scenes routes that skip the crowds during embarkation, disembarkation, or tender days. They don't appear on the ship map. Crew members won't point them out. But if you've got the right room key or the right status, you might just get waved through like a VIP. It's a little like being backstage at a concert while the rest of the crowd is still stuck in the lobby. Once you experience it, the idea of waiting in line with everyone else? Yeah, it loses its charm fast. So if you suddenly find yourself being guided through a mysterious door that says crew only, smile. You've officially joined the inner circle. It sounds harmless. Hang the do not disturb sign. Get some peace and quiet, right? Well, not always. Leave that sign up too long, especially on day one, and you might raise a few eyebrows with security. Cruise lines have quiet policies in place, but they also need to know cabins are occupied and everything's okay. If your room shows no signs of activity for hours, someone may knock. And if there's no answer, they might unlock the door just to make sure nothing's wrong. It's rare, but it happens more than you think. So what's the move? Use the DND sign when you need it, but don't leave it hanging all day every day. A little moderation keeps you off the radar and avoids that awkward knock while you're mid-nap or mid-shower. Peace and quiet? Yes. Unwanted attention from ship security? Hard pass. Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes of a cruise ship? Like how the crew kitchen runs, where the laundry gets done, or what the engine control room actually looks like? Here's the insider secret. Many ships do offer backstage tours, but they're not on the daily schedule, and they're almost never advertised. These tours, sometimes called behind the scenes or crew access tours, are usually reserved for suite guests, loyalty members, or anyone bold enough to ask early. That's the trick. Head to guest services soon after boarding and casually ask if there are any crew tours happening this sailing. You might get a polite no, or you might score a golden ticket to one of the coolest experiences on board. It's like peeking behind the curtain of a floating city, and once you've seen how it all works, you'll never look at cruising the same way again. Everyone rushes to the buffet after boarding. And hey, no judgment. It's familiar, it's fast, and it's right there. But what most cruisers don't realize, on many ships, the main dining room is quietly open for lunch on embarkation day, and it's a whole different vibe. No crowds, no food trays, no battle for a table, just a calm, sit-down meal with real menus and real service. While everyone else is juggling plates under sneeze guards, you're sipping iced tea and easing into vacation like a pro. It's not always available, so check your daily schedule or ask a crew member when you board. If it's open, it might be the most peaceful hour of your entire cruise. Sometimes, skipping the obvious is what makes you feel like a VIP. Not loving your cabin? Too close to the engines? Weird smell? Rattling pipes keeping you up? Here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to suffer in silence. If there's a serious issue, you can ask to switch cabins, even after you've already boarded. The key is acting fast. Head to guest services as soon as you notice the problem. Be polite, be specific, and be early, because once the ship fills up, options disappear quick. If there's availability, they might quietly move you to a quieter location, a better view, or just a room that doesn't smell like someone deep-fried a sock next door. They won't advertise this, and it's never guaranteed, but you'd be surprised what a well-timed, respectful request can unlock. Your vacation comfort is worth speaking up for. Don't wait. Ask early, and you might just end up with an upgrade without even meaning to. Cruise companies love to promote their shore excursions. They'll tell you it's safer, more convenient, and guaranteed to get you back on time. And yes, booking through the ship does give you peace of mind. But here's what they don't mention. Most of those tours are actually operated by local providers. And if you book directly with those same companies, you can often pay half the price for the exact same experience. Same van, same beach, same guide, just without the markup. The savvy move? Do your research before your trip. Read reviews, compare itineraries. Plenty of local operators work with cruise passengers all the time. They know the ship's schedule and often offer written guarantees to get you back on time. Of course, there's always a small risk, so don't book anything cutting it close. But if you plan smart, you'll save big and enjoy a more personal, small group vibe. The official excursions may be convenient, but outside that system, there's often better value, better service, and the exact same sunset. There's a spot on some cruise ships that offers the kind of ocean views you dream about, quiet, open, and strangely empty. You won't find it on the map. There's no sign pointing the way, but if you know where to look, usually on decks 5, 7, or 8, you might stumble upon an unmarked door near the bow. Push it open, and suddenly, it's just you, the breeze, and nothing but blue all the way to the horizon. Veteran cruisers call this one of the ship's best-kept secrets, perfect for sunrise, epic for port arrivals, and peaceful in a way the upper decks never are. But heads up, not every ship has this access. Some keep it locked, especially during rough seas or for safety reasons. So if the door won't open, no worries. You're not imagining things. Just try again another day, or on your next cruise, because once you find it, it feels like your own private front row seat to the ocean. Laundry on a cruise can get pricey fast. unless you know this insider move. On some ships, usually around mid-cruise, there's a quiet little deal. One flat fee to stuff a whole bag of clothes. No per-item charges, no sticker shock. But here's the catch, it's rarely advertised. No mention in the daily schedule, no notification on the app. You only find out if you ask the right person, at the right time. That's where your room steward comes in. Early in the trip, ask casually if there's ever a bag day for laundry. If it's happening, they'll usually give you the heads up. Not every cruise line does this, and it's not guaranteed, but when it works, you'll feel like you just hacked the system, because clean clothes shouldn't cost more than your shore excursion. Ever walk into your cabin and think, what is that smell? Maybe it's garlic, maybe it's perfume, maybe it's something you really hope isn't what you think it is. Here's the sneaky truth. On many ships, cabin ventilation isn't completely isolated. The air in your room might be mingling with your neighbors, sometimes a few doors down, which means that midnight curry, that overenthusiastic body spray, that mysterious chemical fog, it might not be coming from your side of the wall. In rare cases, the smell could also be from plumbing or leftover cleaning products. But if it's strong and persistent, you don't have to just live with it. Call housekeeping or stop by guest services early. If there's a known issue or a better room available, they'll often move you quietly, no fuss. Just ask politely. Because sometimes the weirdest part of your cruise isn't the sea creatures, it's what's floating through your air vents. So there you have it, 16 cruise tricks the cruise lines would really prefer you didn't know. Some are simple, some are sneaky, but every single one of them can save you money, time, and more than a few headaches. Because cruising isn't just about showing up, it's about showing up smart. If you learned something new today, tap that like button. It seriously helps the channel reach more travelers like you. And if you've made it this far, you're officially a cruise insider. Drop a comment below with the word smooth sailing so I know who the real ones are. I read every single one, and I love hearing your own cruise stories too. Good, bad, or hilariously chaotic. And hey, if you've got a cruise buddy who always touches the minibar or trusts the art auctions, maybe send this their way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, pack smart, cruise clever, and enjoy every second on board.